Hi, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky here with my pans and plans for the week. No surprise that the number one story that is reeling around the world is the issue of Donald Trump having contracted COVID-19 and Melania as well. And according to Zeke Emanuel, you may know he's a physician, could turn into a kind of super spreader because the president was at various rallies. He was at a fundraiser. He was with Hope Hicks. He's with her pretty much all day, every day, and she is the one we suspect, or they suspect, gave it to him. We're now hearing about some senators as well. The president's Supreme Court nominee went to every single office on the Republican side in the Senate. We shall see. Of course, I send my best wishes to the president and Melania for a full and quick recovery. And I certainly wish that to anyone else who has gotten it. We heard that Joe Biden tested negative because he was on the same stage as the president, of course. And one of the things that we really learned is that a person that has the virus is most contagious before symptoms show up. So let's hope that one of the lessons learned from what we heard is that everyone will wear a mask. Obviously, testing is good, but that isn't a cure. And contact tracing is important to identify people who may be infected. But we have heard from scientists from left to right that wearing a mask can make the total difference. You want to separate, of course, and you want to wash your hands and all those other things, but the mask is really, really key. So I'm hoping I'm going to look around when I get home and see people, everybody, young and old, wearing a mask. So this has really changed agendas. We don't know exactly how. Will there be any more debates? We know that the president is going to be sequestered for 2 weeks anyway, so we don't know in this month until the election actually how things are going to be proceeding. But we will soon see. This is an October surprise. In terms of the coronavirus, we hit that landmark last week of 200 Americans having died from the coronavirus. We're now at 207,818 are dead. We have 7 million people who have contracted the virus. I don't know, these numbers seem so incredible and so big to me. On Thursday, we saw in Illinois 2,166 new cases. That's not a great number. So please, let's all take a lesson from all of this. So the relief package. I know that many constituents are calling the office, and I'm so proud of my constituent service staff that is answering the phone, and we're doing our best to help people. But the truth of the matter is, without another piece of legislation, a relief piece of legislation, a revised HEROES Act, it's going to be hard. I'm sorry that we're going to be leaving today from Washington, maybe until the election. But we are on 24-hour notice to come back, because Nancy Pelosi and our leadership are going to continue to negotiate with the Republicans, with the White House, to try and get a package. It's very frustrating. We know people are having a hard time paying the rent, that there are food issues, there are healthcare issues. And so this is a very comprehensive bill, $2.2 trillion. And I'm sure that we're willing to compromise on that, but we haven't seen a good proposal yet. I got a couple of things that are in the in the legislation that I think are very important. Legislation that would help frontline workers, that would deal with nursing homes and actually give some money for strike forces that states could use to make sure that they can go into hotspots. Things that I had gotten into the First Heroes Act seem to be their incentives for nursing facilities to do all the work that they need to do and to help them do it. We did pass two important pieces of legislation today. One condemns QAnon. I spoke a little bit about that last week. This is an old anti-Semitic trope brought up to date and accelerated by the internet that essentially mostly condemns Jewish people, and that there's a worldwide conspiracy to kidnap children and eventually to drink their blood. People believe this. This is spread on the internet. We have seen this on Facebook for it's years now. And so one of the things we have to do, of course, is make sure that everyone knows that this is just lunacy. There's no truth to this. And we saw a strong bipartisan vote to condemn QAnon. And we think that's pretty important, although you should know there right now are 22 candidates. One we know will be in the United States House of Representatives that are followers of this conspiracy theory. So we wanted to make a strong statement, and I do believe that we did. There were still some Republicans who voted no, but not very many. And then I think I told you last week, we found that there was at a detention center for immigrants a doctor that was performing hysterectomies, that were making women infertile and performing these surgeries without consent of the women. And so another resolution that was passed today was to condemn that, of course, but also to do a full investigation of how can this possibly happen. You should know this is in one of the privately owned detention centers, and I think that may be somewhat of a factor. This is not some place that has the badge of the United States of America on it, but a contract company. I did want to tell you, for Chicagoans or people who plan to go to Chicago to do trick-or-treating, that the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, came down with some rules. It looks like can go trick-or-treating, but among the rules are trick-or-treaters and candy givers have to wear masks, of course. Homes should indicate whether or not you're going to participate. Put out a sign, put out a light, so that that's actually hanging, so that people know this is a house that you can go to. And you shouldn't trick or treat with more than 6 people. I also wanted to get back to the census. So I told you last week that there actually was a decision by a judge to not end the census as the president ordered by September 30th. Here's the problem. Well, here's the good part. It actually goes to, and you can sign up for the census and do it online, and we are providing the link, how you can do it. You should be seeing that on the screen or next to it. But the census has already laid off a lot of people. So really more than ever is going to be up to you. Please do your civic duty and get counted, and then do your civic duty and vote. It's such a precious thing that we can do in our democracy. Once again, I'm going to mention that the President of the United States, who did receive a very cordial get well wishes from Vladimir Putin and many other people, including me, that the bounty that is being paid by the Russians to actually kill Americans in Afghanistan, it's been 98 days since we heard about it from our intelligence community, and the president still has said absolutely nothing at all. Speaking of the intelligence community, yesterday I went down to what we call the SCIF. This is the secret place where classified information is held, where the intelligence committee that I was on for 6 years, that's where our hearing rooms are, etc. Because I wanted to read a classified document about foreign interference in our election. I can't tell you any details, but what is public knowledge and widely spread is the fact that, as you're listening to me, the Russians are doing everything they can to interfere with our election. This is still denied widely by the administration, but believed unanimously by the intelligence community. So I'm heading back to the district. I look forward to that, and I'll be talking to you from home, I'm sure, by next week. See you then. Thank you.
Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.